Jordan is a 40-year-old sales executive working in Melbourne's central business district. He is highly regarded by colleagues and industry peers and has a reputation for always getting results, meeting targets and overcoming challenges. But Jordan's private life is not so straightforward. He is currently in a relationship many people will have difficulty in comprehending. We should mention that Jordan is not his real name. He agreed to speak to us on the condition that he remain anonymous. We have also disguised his voice and, despite this being a radio broadcast, he has also requested we disguise his face. For this, we gave him a Dorothy the Dinosaur mask to wear. We do warn that the following segment contains concepts of a frank and explicit nature concerning Jordan and his forbidden passions.
On my lunch breaks, I would often go to the park, eat my sandwiches and get some fresh air. I'd sometimes throw some bread to the pigeons there. As time goes by, you start to recognise a lot of the pigeons, and there was one pigeon in particular who I would notice more and more. She was grey in colour, and some of the feathers on her wings were quite dirty and matted. It was a look that did it for me. I felt from quite early on there was a connection between us. It's difficult to explain, but something about the way she would look at me through the flock of pigeons in the park. She wasn't like the others. I remember the first time I was in the park and she jumped up onto the bench next to me and gave me a look that said, "Let's go back to your place." I called the office and said I wasn't feeling well and had to go home for the afternoon. So we got in my car and drove back to my place. And in no time, she threw herself at me. I felt her beak press against my lips. Then her little pigeon tongue forced its way into my mouth. It felt so good. It felt right. I'd had plenty of relationships in the past. There'd been a lot of girlfriends, but I always felt as though I was living a lie. I knew now, with my pigeon love, I'd found what I was looking for. Yes, we have a very happy and healthy sex life. Obviously, because of the size difference, we can't have conventional intercourse. But we get by. You just need to use your imagination. And we have a lot of fun. I'm very satisfied. The other thing complicating things for me was that I'm a practicing Jew. And in order to get married, she had to convert to Judaism. And she was happy to do that. The problem was finding a rabbi who would perform a conversion ceremony. We did eventually find someone who would do that, and he was good enough to conduct a wedding ceremony as well. It was a beautiful occasion. It was just a shame we couldn't share it with other friends and family. When I come home from work each night to my pigeon wife, I sometimes feel like I'm the happiest man in the world. Not many people can say that. Not many people find someone so perfect for them. And I have. I love my pigeon wife. And I want to ask everyone listening to this to try to be open-minded about people like me, about pigeon-human relationships the world over. There are actually a lot of us in the world in relationships with pigeons. The IPDLO the International Pigeon and Dove Lovers organisation has over 300 members. But we all do feel uncomfortable going public with it. People aren't ready to hear it. They don't want to understand. My family has disowned me, and I know it would be suicide for my career if it became public. And that does make me sad. I'm currently writing an erotic pigeon fiction book, which, when it's released, I think might help change a lot of people's minds.